This is Filimon in 2026. But to leave still fixing after 25 years must have taken some kind of courage. Something must have happened, otherwise you wouldn't have left.
So I never liked it. Even when I started, it was ironic. I love nature, and I'm tearing nature down to replace it with a concrete structure.
Yep.
And so it was never aligned. But just like when I said I was selling dope and all that, it was a means to an end. So I always knew to get out. I was going to get out, and I didn't make really strong relationships in the industry because of that. It was I didn't want to get involved, so then it became my identity and who I was. And I was focusing more on this, and I started to tell myself, I want to do this. It was good. And then COVID hit, and the big catalyst was no one knew what I was doing because I was a bit embarrassed of what I was doing because I didn't even know what I was doing, so I wouldn't communicate it. And then my dad would often say, so what do you do? And I stumbled through trying to tell him what I did because I still wasn't really doing it. I didn't know. I was making it up. And I've always made things up in my life.
So if you're not going aside and you're not doing this, you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
Yeah. So I tell him I work on people's performance. And so I told him how, and he liked it. Then in 2021, he passed away. And I got 3 sisters. And we spoke about trauma before, right? Now, it was a traumatic experience, and I was aware of it during the time because we knew that we were going to be turning things off while he was still conscious. So he in the hospital bed, I remember talking to the nurse, and they said, we're going to do it tomorrow. So I went, Dad, tomorrow's the day. This and that. So I went to Dad, sisters and Mum were down the end of the bed. And I said, Dad, this is how it's going to happen, mate. And I've been there, I said, because I've done some ayahuasca ceremonies and I love all that kind of stuff. And I told him, where you're going, I've been, and it's beautiful, So it's like, so we're going to breathe together. And I'm like, okay, just stay connected here because this is the last moment. So I'm holding him as he's breathing, and he's like, okay, now this is coming out there. Okay, Dad, this is it. Let's go. Let's breathe together. So eventually he takes that last breath, and I started laughing. It was a celebration for me to just be that close holding. It was so good. And I thought to myself straight after it, fuck, I'm gonna need some help after this. After this. And we went into lockdown not long after, and I couldn't be around people. And I became I became pretty bad. And yes, eventually got help. And but that experience, I thought I've told the story enough now to still, but obviously I still tear up, right?